All right, boys, real quick trade recap. I'm going to be going over how I faded a 5K plus day today on NQ after we had a huge dump right here. So, looking at the chart, what do we see? This is market open candle right here. So, we sweep out all these relative equal highs, and then we get a huge dump candle. About 2 candles produced on 86 points. So, then we start dumping, and what are we drawing towards? We're drawing towards these unfilled hourly gaps down here. So, what happens? We fill this hourly gap. Okay, that hourly gap gets filled. So, what do we know where price wants to go? Once we take this manipulation leg right here from this swing high to the body low, it's going to give us our -2 and our -2.5 and our -2.25. So, these are all of our rejection levels. So, right here, you can see that we rejected off of the -2.25. So, once I see that, what do I also know? I also know that we left 15-minute internal highs. That's also paired with the 930 wick, because that is market open 930 wick right there. So we know this is a nice liquidity pool, and then we have London high resting right above it. So then we have London, we have London high resting right above it. Sorry, my indicator went somewhere, but we have London high resting above it. So once we see that we reject off of the -2.25 and we came into that hourly gap, now we could take our standard deviation and find out where OTE is going to be. Okay, so now we know OTE is our 618, which is right here. So we got OTE right here. That's your OTE. Okay, so this is where we want to enter at. Where do we know where price is going to extend to? So we don't even have to look at this. We can look at this for later and pull out this fib, be like, okay, we have -2 up here, all of that stuff. I didn't look at that because we already have our significant draws and our obvious draws on liquidity. London high, 15-minute internal high plus this 930 wick, plus this 930 wick. Sorry, I don't know why I can't speak. So you would want to take longs with a 12.5 point stop loss right here, targeting that 930 wick. You would have caught a 10R right there, and London highs would have been a 13.5R. Would have smacked this entire trade after this huge dump during New York AM, right after market open. Why I faded this? I seen this huge dump, and then I was like, okay, we're probably going to continue lower, because if we take a look at ES had to sweep out all of this. So once we were like sitting around 950, I was like, all right, we're going to continue lower and probably aren't going to get any entries here. We continue lower, ES sweeps everything. And then what I missed here as well, you can see this 1001 wick right here. Put in an SMT between ES and NQ. You can see that 1001 wick right here. So we're delivering out of a higher time frame gap. We hit our -2.25 and we're rejecting. We're rejecting out of OTE, and we just put in a bullish SMT with not relative equal highs, 15-minute internal highs plus this 930 wick, and then London high above. Plus, we know we're reaching for all-time highs today. We have this resting daily wick and then resting daily wick up here. So we know we're going for these liquidity sweeps. So I faded this just because I kind of disregarded the charts after we had this huge dump, and I was like, okay, well, I don't see that there's going to be a trade here. And I completely just missed this OTE leg and my entry. I was sitting here over analyzing the chart and waiting for this 5-minute inverse, which, yeah, okay, if we waited for this 5-minute inverse, we could have taken it. But at that point, I didn't love RR. I wasn't trying to catch a 2R. So, pretty much just faded this entire long in the day. Knew where it was going to go. Just faded it. But yeah, I got to hop on a call here. And that was pretty much the whole trade recap of the day. I'm banned on TikTok live for like the next 3 days. Because I said retard, bro. It's kind of crazy. But I'm going to be on here more often. And Discord, join the Discord. It's going to be linked in bio. Follow me on Instagram. And yeah, boys. That was the whole trade recap. Faded this, could have been up 5K, because if we entered with it, I probably would have entered with 2 cons, risking $500 on this stop loss right here. Would have been $500 risk stop loss, and then would have caught at least 5 bands if we held up to these 930 wicks, and then if I would have caught my copy trader, I would have been up over 10K today. Even if I put 1 con in, I would have been up over 5K today. So, yep, faded this long, but it happens, bro.